Yo, I'm Dreadlock Ninja and I'm going to show you the most important refining recipes you need to know in No Man's Sky. There are 3 base ingredients you need a solid supply of before you can become an alchemist, and they are oxygen, nitrogen and dihydrogen. There is a 4th base ingredient, which is pugnium. It has a chance to drop when killing sentinels, so you probably already have some. You can usually find it for sale at the space station, but if you're going to buy it, you might as well buy 10 gold, which is what we're going to turn it into. And then there's a more effective way to make gold once you've got that first 10. You're also going to need at least 2 of the following: cobalt, sodium, copper, cadmium, emerald, and indium. You'll see why you only need 2 of each of those later in the video. I recommend setting up a base on a paradise planet and finding a location that is close to both an oxygen and a nitrogen hotspot. Ideally, you want to set up on S-class spots, but prioritize oxygen as you're going to use far more of this than anything else. If you're having troubles finding a paradise planet, go to the materials page of the catalog, then select exotic materials and then Parafinium. This will put locating it onto your mission list. Make sure it's the mission that's currently selected, and then go onto the galaxy map and highlight current mission. In this system, scan all the planets for Paraffinium, and that planet will have both oxygen and nitrogen hotspots that you can set gas extractors up on. If you've not found Paraffinium before, you can refine it using oxygen and silver. Dihydrogen is the easiest on the list. It can be found on any planet, and you can refine 30 of it into dihydrogen jelly and then refine that jelly back into 40 dihydrogen for a profit of 10. It does take 1 minute to refine 1 jelly, so it's something that you want to set up before you go out and explore, and you want to do it in a medium or large refiner so that you're not spending anything on fuel. It's nice to have 5 stacks as reserves and only use them to make more when you run out. It's the medium and large refiners which allow us to refine multiple resources into something else. The medium refiner allows us to combine 2 resources, and the large one allows the combination of 3 resources, and both cost 10 salvage data from the anomaly. You're limited to building 2 large and 3 medium refiners in close proximity to each other. If you want to build more than that, you need to be around 30 units away from the other one. You can get around this by using the golden glitch. I've got a video linked on that in the description. Oxygen is one of the most important ingredients for any budding alchemist in No Man's Sky. There is a way to refine it, but it's a very drawn out process, and in my opinion it's not really worth it. If you don't have the best hotspot for oxygen, you can always supplement it with a few oxygen harvesters until you've got a better spot, but it really is worth spending the time to find an S-class. With our base resources, we can make carbon by refining oxygen just by itself. Oxygen and carbon can be refined into condensed carbon. 2 oxygen and 1 condensed carbon can be refined into 6 condensed carbon. Oxygen and nitrogen can be refined into sulfurine. Oxygen and sulfurine can be refined into radon, and oxygen and radon can be refined back into nitrogen, completing the gas cycle. Oxygen and dihydrogen can be refined into salt. Oxygen and salt can be refined into chlorine, and 2 oxygen and 1 chlorine can be refined into 6 chlorine. Dihydrogen and condensed carbon can be refined into mordite. Mordite and condensed carbon can be turned into faecium. Faecium and oxygen can multiply the faecium, and faecium can be turned back into mordite. Faecium and pugnium can be turned into gold. There is a better way to make gold, but we need to refine some other resources first. Nitrogen and dihydrogen can be refined into ammonia. Ammonia by itself can be refined into ferrite dust. All of the biome-dependent resources can. We'll go more into them in a minute, but ammonia is the only one that we have so far. That ferrite dust can be refined into pure ferrite and combined with oxygen to make 2 rusted metal. That can be turned back into 4 ferrite dust. This recipe is only really good if you want to craft metal plates, as there is a better way to get pure and magnetized ferrite. Refine 30 dihydrogen and 30 radon into uranium, and then you can refine that 30 uranium with 10 gold and 60 pure ferrite into lemium. Refine that and you get 125 gold. Now we have a better gold stash, we can use that to make silver by combining oxygen and gold into pyrite. Then we need to combine pyrite, gold and pure ferrite into dirty bronze, and that dirty bronze can be refined into silver. I mentioned earlier there was a better way to get pure and magnetized ferrite, and that's by combining gold and silver to make platinum, and then refining that with oxygen to make magnetized ferrite, and that can be refined back and forth into pure ferrite as you need. Sodium and cobalt can be crafted from base materials, however I don't really think it's worth the hassle. Both resources can be found on any planet, and as long as you have oxygen and at least 2 sodium or cobalt, you can always refine them into sodium nitrate or ionized cobalt and then cycle them with oxygen to multiply them. Uranium is the first on the list of biome specific resources. We used a rudimentary method to make it earlier on. We can combine magnetized ferrite and radon to make uranium at a ratio of 1:3. Combining uranium and oxygen will give you gamma root, and if you refine it with pure ferrite you get pyrite. We've refined gold and oxygen already into pyrite when we were making silver, so this is a different way of doing it. Combining pyrite with oxygen will give you cactus flesh, and if we refine pyrite with pure ferrite we get paraffinium. Combine paraffinium with oxygen for star bulb, and if we refine it with pure ferrite we get ammonia. Refining ammonia and pure ferrite gives you dioxite. If you mix it with oxygen you get fungal mould. Dioxite and oxygen gives you frost crystals. When you refine dioxite and pure ferrite you get phosphorus. Phosphorus and oxygen make solarium, and you can complete the loop by combining phosphorus and pure ferrite to get uranium. Copper, cadmium, emerald and indium can all be crafted as long as you have a decent stockpile of gold and silver and at least 2 of the metal that you want to multiply. First, combine the metal you want to multiply with gold and silver to make chromatic metal. If you use copper you'll get a ratio of 1:5, cadmium is 1:10, emerald is 1:20 and indium is 1:30. You can then refine the chromatic metal and copper, cadmium, emerald or indium into more of whichever resource you use at a ratio of 1:2 across the board. And that's everything you need to know about refining in No Man's Sky. There are a few more recipes I didn't cover, but like I say, they're more hassle than they're worth. I've linked to the No Man's Sky fandom page if you want to have a look for yourself. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.